it's pretty easy to work with. So it's a giant square root.
Are you recording?
I'm recording. So this is what the distance formula looks like. Does it look familiar?
Absolutely not.
Yes.
That looks nothing.
Yeah, it kind of does look like point slope. Well, because point slope's got an x1 in there and a y1 in there. And it also looks like finding slope a little bit. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So it looks ugly, but it's very simple as to what it's telling you to do. It's telling you to, if you have your ordered pairs, if you have 2 points, to subtract the x values and then square that result. Subtract your y values, square that result, and add the 2 results together. Once you've added the results together, you take the square root of it all. So it's actually pretty simple as long as you know which ones are your x's and which ones are your y's. And at this point, if you didn't know what your x's and your y's were, I think I would just cry.
What's the next and y? Are you going to cry?
I was about to say that. What's the next one?
Okay, so I'm just kind of getting it ready to go. It's always the giant square root, and then I'm going to subtract my x's and I'll square that, plus I'm going to subtract my y's and I'm going to square that. So are the x's the first numbers or the second? First. The first. Okay, so what would it look like if I wrote x2 minus x1?
-2 minus 2.
Beautiful. What would it look like if I wrote y2 minus y1?
-1 plus 1.
Good. Plus 1, because it's a minus a negative 1, and the minus the negative makes a plus. Okay, the next thing I do is I just work out what's in the parentheses. So what do you get if you take -2 minus 2?
-4.
-4, and then I'm just going to put it back in the parentheses and put the squared on the outside. Jacob.
Jacob.
Then I'm going to work out the next set of parentheses. What's -1 plus 1? 0. I'm going to put that in parentheses and square it. And then now I actually want to square these numbers and see what I get. So I'm going to put my square root again. What do you get if you take -4 and square that? 16. -4 times -4 is 16. What do you get if you square 0? So if I put 16 plus 0, that's still just 16, right? Okay, and then can you take the square root of 16 and get something pretty? Yeah, so the answer is 4. So this is how you find the distance between 2 points that aren't on like a vertical line or a horizontal line. If I just show you this grid down here for a second. Like if I wanted to know what the distance was from here to here, I could just count it. 1, 2, 3. If I wanted to know the distance from here to here, I could just count it. 1, 2, 3, 4. If it's a vertical or horizontal distance, you can count it. But if I want to know the distance from here to here, this is a diagonal distance, so we'll have to use the distance formula. So if it's just straight up and down, you can count. If it's just straight horizontal, you can count. But if it's a diagonal distance, then this is how we find the distance between 2 coordinates. Okay, let's look at another one. So I'm going to just get my setup ready to go. Giant square root, getting ready to subtract the x's and squaring, plus getting ready to subtract the y's and square. So what would it look like to take x2 minus x1? -2 minus 5. It doesn't turn into a plus because I'm not subtracting a negative. Okay, and then how about y2 minus y1?
-3 plus 2.
Yes, that one turns into a plus because we're subtracting a negative. Okay, so the next thing I just want to do is just work out what's in the parentheses right here. How much is -2 minus 5?
-7.
-7. I'm just going to put it back in parentheses with the squared on the outside. In the other set of parentheses, what's -3 plus 2? -1. I'm going to put that back in parentheses and put the squared on the outside. And then what do you get if you take -7 and square it? 49. And then I'm going to put my plus. 1. -1 squared, -1 times -1 is 1. These two numbers should always be positive, because no matter what you square, you'll always get a positive. And then how much is 49 plus 1? Okay, so I get the square root of 50. Does that come out nice and pretty?
No.
No. So I'm going to see if I can break it down like we've been trying the last few days. Go ahead, Serena.
25 and
Yep, 25 goes in there twice. And then the final answer would be
5 square root of 2.
5 square root of 2. Seem easy peasy? Lemon squeezy, smiley facey. Okay, and then this next example is just more of the same. I just need to know what the ordered pair is. So take a second and see what you think ordered pair A is, and see what you think ordered pair B is, and then we'll go from there. So, what do you think ordered pair A is?
2 negative 3.
Good. 2, negative 3. And how about B?
4, 5.
4, 5. Okay, you try it. Find the distance between those two. Let's see if you can get it. Excuse me. Sorry. It's stuck in my head. It came on yesterday when I was taking my daughter to school and she was singing it. It was like, how do you know this song? Because she you know, I typically,
What song?
that Ed Sheeran song, it's called Sing.
Never heard of
Yeah. Anyway, so she was singing. I was like, "How do you know this?" And she's like, "Mom, sometimes we sing in class." I just said, "Okay."
What song?
He's like, "I don't know the words well enough to sing it. I can just hum it to you." Oh yeah. Well, no one will probably watch the video, and if somebody does, they might enjoy it. You never know.
Oh, I thought you were still trying to find it.
No, I take that back. I do have somebody that's in choices till the end of the year, so you're watching this, aren't you?
What is it?
Xander. Swanson.
Oh.
Do you know him? Yeah, that's it.
I've never heard it.
Well, you did just out of my mouth. It sounded just like that.
What you hear is what you get. It goes on for like 4 minutes. You don't do anything.
Yeah, so I hadn't heard it either, and so yesterday Ellie started singing it. I was like, what in the world? Because she listens to the same music that I do, because I'm the one driving the car. And that's the only time she ever really listens to music, unless I'm playing it in the house, but it's me playing it in the house. And then that's when she said, Mom, sometimes we sing in class.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
It's like that.
What
That's-
grade is she in?
She's a 3rd grader.
My little brother's in 4th graders, and like they have to make a business.
Right? She sounds so cute.
Yeah, they worked on it some.
We did a business last year. Me and Brooke went to like
Well, I had heard that they were getting rid of it, so I was hoping that that was not the case.
our grade didn't have to do it.
You're afraid of what?
They are learning cursive? Oh, cursive.
She doesn't go to Midlothian. She goes to a private school.
Oh, yeah.
We gotta play like
What? I got that right.
Yeah, I think in the Arlington School District, they stopped teaching cursive.
I know.
People just don't understand.
Very important. She got it right. I did it by myself.
Awesome. Have most of you got pretty far?
Right word.
Okay, so, hang on just a second, Emily. Okay, I didn't finish mine. Did you get this?
Yeah.
Okay, but I didn't finish it because I can't take the square root of 68 and get something pretty, but what goes in there?
4 and 17.
4 goes in there, 17, so the final answer would be? Good. 2 square root of 17, there it is. Is that what you're going to ask? Okay, I do have a little assignment for you. Yay!